Good morning, everyone. You have the Q&A and the chat features if you want to ask a question or just say hello. Let's wait a few more minutes so everyone can join. Hey, hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Good. Okay, nice. I'm doing great as well. I had a rough night. Uh, didn't sleep super good, but I'm in a good mood and I'm excited for today, so it should be all right. Okay, so I'm just going to share the link on Discord. All right, let's go. So before we start, I'd like to know, where is everyone from? What time is it? So right now for me it's 10 a.m. and I'm based in Lisbon. Okay, so we have people from the UK. Yeah, we are in the same time zone. India, Ireland, Malaysia, Spain, Romania. Oh, Puerto Rico. Oh, Puerto Rico. It's early birds. Nigeria, California. Well, California should be sleeping, no? Okay. It's great to see so many people from different places. All right. Okay, so welcome to Motoko Bootcamp. You should be seeing my screen right now, so you should be seeing the dashboard. Welcome to this DAO adventure. So I'm Sebastian and I'm here to help you build a DAO. We have 7 days for that, and we are going to build on the internet computer with the Motoko language. So I would like to show you a video first. Probably some of you might have seen this video already. It's a 5-minute video and it's about the DAO adventure. So it explains everything you need to know on how to get started and what we're going to do this week. So it's 6 minutes video. Of course, if you have a question, something is not clear, make sure to use the Q&A or the chat. I'm monitoring everything. If you have a question, I'll answer it. Okay, so you should hear the sound. If you don't hear any sound, please let me know, but it should be good. Welcome to Motoko Bootcamp and welcome to the DAO Adventure. My name is Sebastian, I'm Education Lead at Golden State, and I'm here to help you build a DAO in 7 days on the internet computer with the Motoko language. Before we start, I would like to warn you that this adventure might have unintended consequences on your life. Actually, this adventure might turn you into a super builder. What is a super builder? A super builder is someone that understands the power of the internet computer, master the Motoko language, and leverage the power of DAOs. Once you understand how big and revolutionary those topics are, you might get a little bit excited, even too much, and you might leave your school, drop your girlfriend, and quit your job. So be prepared and be aware that this is very intense and it might affect your life. All right, so what is the DAO Adventure? The DAO Adventure is an educative adventure where you will learn about Motoko, the internet computer, and the power of DAOs. This is completely free, and this is something that you can do at your own pace. There will be videos and resources, or you can join us at Motoko Bootcamp. We do it every month together, and you will also join a team so that you can make connections and connect with the next generations of builders. How is the adventure structured? The adventure is structured in 3 phases. The first phase is the initiation phase. In this phase, you will learn how to deploy your first application. This should take you around 1 to 2 hours. And once you have completed this phase, it will unlock the next phase. The next phase is the training phase. This phase is much longer because it takes around 5 days. And you have 5 projects to build. Those projects are guided and also corrected. And it will help you learn and master the Motoko language. Once you finish the training phase, you will unlock the last phase, which is the graduation phase. This phase should take you around 2 days. And this is where you will be tested and challenged. You will have to build your own DAO and submit it through our online platform. This should take you around 2 days, as I've said, but it could take you more time or less time depending on how fast you code. A big question is, how do you set up your environment for this adventure? How do you prepare for this adventure? I have a good news for you. You can do this adventure completely in your browser. So you don't need to set up anything on your machine, and you can use something called Gitpod, which is an online environment. I have prepared everything for you. So every tools and extensions that you might need are actually packaged in the workspace. It's called Workspace. This is the online environment. And you just need to click. It will load for you and you can do all your projects on there. I know that some people always want to work locally. They want to have the local setup and they want everything on their machine. If it's your case, you need to install DFX, and I have made a few videos about it. There are a few articles, so I won't talk about it today, but essentially you need to set up DFX on your machine and you need to copy all the repositories that we will work with. So how do you get started with the adventure? There should be a button called repository just below this video, or a link in the comment if you're watching this on YouTube. And you need to go to the repository called github.com/motokobootcamp/DAO Adventure. Okay, so I am on the repository right now. You will immediately notice a very long README file. So this is the file that I'm showing here. Essentially, this file explains everything that is in this video and also a few more things about how to use this repository and how to navigate the DAO Adventure. The most important thing is at the top. It's a link to all other resources that you need to use during the adventure. This is because the adventure is scattered in many places. You have a lot of different resources. So you have the dashboard, you have our Discord, you have the YouTube channel, you have a few guide on Notion, you have repositories. So all the links that you need are here, and you might need to save that on your browser tab or something like this. This is actually the main repository, but this repository does not contain anything that you're looking for because it's just an explanation. We actually have more repositories. So we have the repository for the initiation, we have the repository for the training, and the repository for the graduation, of course. And this repository, which is the main one, just contains this README, as I've said. So that's it for the repository. Let's move to the dashboard. Okay, so the Motoko Bootcamp dashboard can be accessed from the Motoko Bootcamp website. You just need to click on login, and then you need to use your internet identity. So if you don't have one, you need to create one. If it's your first time login on the Motoko Bootcamp dashboard, you will need to create an account. You need to specify your username, an email address, and a GitHub account. Once you are logged in, you have access to all the resources and all the links that you need. So as you can see, you have access to initiation, training, and graduation. If you're just starting out, you might have some locked section. This is because you don't have access to the training if you haven't done the initiation, and you don't have access to the graduation if you haven't finished the training yet. So there are different sections to the dashboard. The first one is the home section. So this is the section I am currently located in. You have all the resources and all the links in this section. Then you have the submit section. So this section is very important because this is where you will actually submit your project. So I cannot submit because I have already completed all the projects, but essentially this is where you put the canister ID that corresponds to the project you're building, so that you can verify and you can pass the training and pass the initiation and so on. Then you have the dashboard. So the dashboard gives you indications about what's happening on the Motoko Bootcamp community. So you can see other people are joining, you can see other people are completing level and so on. Then you have the team section. So the team section is currently reserved to people that join Motoko Bootcamp. You will be joining a team, and so there will be a team contest at the end of the week. So I won't talk about it in this video. And then you have the profile. So the profile gives you information about yourself. You can actually change your username email and GitHub accounts at any point. Also, you have access to your role. So your role might be different. If you're just starting out, you are a candidate, then you can become a student, then you become a trained, and then you become a graduate. So my role is graduate here because I've already finished the adventure. You can see your team if you are in a team. So right now I'm not in a team. And finally, the principal ID, which is essentially your identifier for your account on this platform. And then that's about it. You can log out at any point. Just click in here and you can log in again, same procedure. Okay, so as I've said, the DAO Adventure can be done completely on your own and at your self-pace, but I strongly recommend that you join a Motoko Bootcamp. Motoko Bootcamp is an event that happens every month and you can join fully online. It's an event where you will join a team, meet other builders. You will also have special lectures, brainstorming session, and a few more things that really makes it a special experience. So if you are interested, you can go on the Motoko Bootcamp website, click to the Get Started section, and then register for the next bootcamp. All right, so if you have any question, make sure to reach out on Discord, on the Motoko Bootcamp Discord. You will find the link in the description or on the Discord button just below. Good luck, I see you in the next video. All right, so just want to make sure that everyone is able to log in on the dashboard. So if you haven't done it yet, you need to do it right now. So as I've shown, you need to click here, log in, and then you need to use internet identity. I know, unfortunately, some people have issue with internet identity, mainly those of you that are on Windows. If you don't have Windows Hello, I think it's hard to create an internet identity. Well, first thing, make sure that you have Windows Hello enabled. I know that some people, they have it on their machine, but it's not activated. So you need to go to the settings and activate Windows Hello. I'm not sure exactly where it's located, but you should find it if you do like a quick search on Google. And then if you activate it, you should be able to create an internet identity. If even that still doesn't work, I think you have to buy YubiKey or some kind of, passkey that you can use. If you don't want to, I understand. Either you have another computer that you can use that is not on Windows, or you can use your phone, but the dashboard is not very mobile friendly, unfortunately, at the moment. And the last solution, I want to implement something called NFID, which enables connection through an email address. But unfortunately, it's not ready yet. So you would have to wait. Probably, I would like to have it by the end of the week. It's a huge priority for me. And I don't have other solution because I'm not the creator of internet identity, and I know there are some limitations. So I've seen some people in the comments. You can still do the DAO Adventure without the dashboard, and you can submit later. You have access to all the repository, so you just use the resource, do your project. You just cannot submit them, and whenever the dashboard is open for you, you'll be able to, submit everything at your pace. Yeah, I know that for some people it's working on Windows, for others it's not. I think the big difference is, do you have Windows Hello on your machine? So usually like recent computer, they do work, but if you have some like older machine, sometimes you have issues. So assuming you have your internet identity, just log in. And I assume that everyone here has already done the initiation. So I might be wrong. Maybe some of you haven't done the initiation yet. If you haven't done the initiation, you need to do it today. So the initiation is 1 to 2 hours. It's actually just deploying your first application. And you can follow the video here. So it's a workshop that I'm doing every week. It explains ICP, Motoko, and so on. And you can deploy your first application. And you have all the resource, so the Notion guide and the repository for the initiation. Once you complete the initiation, you should see your profile change. So you should see your role move to student. Right now I'm graduate, but you should see students for you. And you will be able to join a team once you've completed the initiation. You should also have access to the training. So this is the training. And you should have access to the team section. So everyone that has access to the team section right now, I would like you to join a team. You can choose any team. You essentially have 5 teams, and it's up to you which one you prefer. I would recommend that you join the team with the least members. So right now, all the teams are empty because this is the first time we are using the teams. But as the team will, grow up and start to be filled up, try to join the team that has least members so that we get a balance between the different teams. So on my side, I'm going to join okay, so everyone is joining the koala team. I'm going to join the penguins. Okay. So we have already 2 people here, 1 people here, 1 person here. Okay, great. So once you have joined your team, so let's say I am a penguin right now. You should go to the Discord. So Discord is where all the updates and all the messages about the bootcamp will be. And you should see this team section. If you don't, well, do you see the team section? Wait, let me see actually. Yeah, you should see all those sections. So go here and post a message to introduce yourself to your team. So, hey, everyone, I am starting the bootcamp and I'm joining the penguins. Well, you can put whatever you want. Yeah, just introduce yourself to your team, and you will have a team call later today with the rest of your team. So what is the team about? The team is important. You don't have a team project for this bootcamp. So this bootcamp is it's an introduction to DIC. So it's a solo project that you will work on. Everyone is building their own project, but it doesn't mean that you cannot help each other with your team members. And actually you should help your team because each team has a score, and the score is based on how far each member of the team is in the whole adventure. So if everyone in your team completes the adventure, your team will have the best score, and there is actually a team contest. So at the end of the week, the best team, so the team with the best score, they will receive some special rewards. Make sure that not everyone is joining I think everyone is joining the penguin team. Oh, okay, so that's pretty strange. See, some people are. Yeah, I'll need to check that. Why we have double people here. Yes, if you don't have a team, it's because you need to complete the initiation first. So make sure to go here and complete the initiation. You can do that after this this presentation. Is the Motoko Bootcamp website open source? Not yet, but I'll open source at some. Yeah, I will open source the Motoko Bootcamp website at some point. I hope that even at some point, this website can be controlled by a DAO. So either through SNS or another type of DAO. And I hope the community would be able to push updates and contribute to the website. Right now, it's not. I have a few things I would like to clean before making this website code open source, but definitely this year, it's in my list, my to-do list. yeah, I don't know why everyone is going for Penguin. You should try to go to the team that has the least members. So there is not a lot of people in the Dolphins. Make sure to join the Dolphins. Raptor. Okay, we have 2 raptors, 2 chimpanzees. We have too much penguins. Koalas are good. Okay. So I'll let everyone join the team. In the meantime, I will show you a second video, which is about the training. So the training is what we will start today. And I want to show you how it's working and how the repository is done. So 1 second. Where's the... Okay. So this is the training. And it starts right now. Welcome back to Motoko Bootcamp and welcome to the training phase. You are here to build a DAO, but building a DAO is not something easy, and that's why you need to go through this training phase where you will learn everything you need to know on how to build your DAO. Your training phase starts right here and right now. Before we jump in, I would like to congratulate you. If you are watching this video right now, it means that you've already completed your initiation. If you haven't completed your initiation, you need to pause the video and complete your initiation first. If you have completed your initiation, it means that you have stored your name and your message on the digital legacy scroll. So this will be stored forever. So thank you for being among the first Web3 developers and Web3 pioneers. I hope you will remember that in a few years. And congratulations again. Now, let's see what the training is about. So the training is about 3 important and very complex topics. The first one is Motoko, the internet computer, and then DAOs. Now, you could read and learn about those topics separately. Actually, that's what I've done. You could go and read the whole documentation for Motoko, the whole documentation for ICP, and you could watch videos and read articles on DAOs. And that would get you somewhere, but it would be very slow and very hard process. If you want to get efficient, and I want you to be efficient, that's why I've created this training, the best way is to learn about those topics at the same time. In this training, you will learn about ICP, Motoko, and DAOs at the same time, because those topics are combined. And so you will build a DAO, that's your end goal. You will write your code in Motoko, and you will build on the internet computer the platform. Now, how is exactly the training structured? The training should take you 5 days, and for each day, you have a project. So 5 days and 5 projects. You will notice that the projects are actually smaller components of a DAO. So for example, one project is a token, one other project is a voting system, another project is a member database, and all those projects combined together, they will help you to build a real DAO. Okay, so we are on the repository. And so you will notice that there is a huge README file that you can see here. You have all the resource and all the explanations on how to get started with the repository and how to use it, all the links to the project and the daily guides and so on. If you want to get started with this repository, there are 2 ways. The first one is the one that is the easiest and the fastest. It's to use something called Gitpod, which is actually an online cloud-based development environment. So I've already set up. The video is lagging. It's not lagging on my side. So what is happening? Is it the sound that is... It's fine for me. Okay, not lagging. Okay, so I'll resume. Everything for you, DFX and all the extensions that you need from Motoko. So you can just click here. If you have a GitHub account, that's the only thing you need. It will load an environment and you can work from that environment. The second way is to work locally. So you need to clone the repository and you need to make sure that you have all the tools installed locally on your machine. Actually, I've made a video about how to set up those tools. So I'll provide the link in the description. For this video, I'll go with the option number 1, which is to use Gitpod and the online environment. So I'll just click here and it will open this page. So I'm already logged in with my GitHub account. If you don't have a GitHub account, you can create one in a few minutes. It's very fast and very easy. And then, so this is the repository that we are opening. We are using VS Code. So you can select a few environments. I really like VS Code. I think it's the best in the list. And then you need to select your machine, so the hardware that you want to run on. So this is actually something remotely that you don't have access to. You don't need to go for the large, you need to go with the standard because you are on the free plan. So you have up to 60 hours for free with the standard. So just continue with standard and click on continue. The first time you open your workspace, it might take around 2 to 3 minutes and then it will be much faster. Okay, so we are already in the workspace. And as you can see, we have a few installations going on automatically. So it's actually installing DFX and making sure everything is set up for us. So we just need to wait for that to be completed and then we can get started. Okay, so as you can see, I'm zooming a bit and we can verify that DFX has been correctly installed. We can run DFX version and you should see DFX.0.15.2. Now, how is the repository structured? So the repository is structured in a very simple manner. You have the days, which corresponds to the 5 days I've talked about. And for each day, you have a project and a README. So you can open the README. You can click here to actually see it with this format. So if you see it with the README, the Markdown format, it's a little less enjoyable to read. So you can open the preview. And then you have everything that you need to know about this day. So there is an introduction about what this first day is about and what are the lectures that you can use and watch for this specific day. All the resources, so all the links to the chapter and also external resources like the ICP documentation that you can use. All the resources are tailored specifically for this day. So every time you have a specific project and every time the resources are actually very selected for that project. And then there is a list of concepts. So those are all the concepts that you will see on the first day. This is actually very useful to review that at the end of each day. You go through this list and you think, and you read and then you just, okay, so this one, I know what is a canister, I know what cycles are, I know what update and query functions are. If everything seems very clear to you, then that means you have probably reached the end of the day. Then you have a Motoko pill every day. So it's a little fact about Motoko. So you can learn a few things about the ecosystem and the history of the Motoko language. And for every day, you also have a meme, which is a meme created by previous Motoko Bootcamp students. So that's it for the README. And then you have a project. And for the project, you have a project instructions. So same thing, you can also open the preview. It explains why you need to build this project, what is your mission, and then there is a list of tasks that you need to do to complete the project. And you will also find 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 Motoko files. Those are actually the beginning of the project, so it's not the whole and complete code, but it's actually just a starter, so you can go and start building the project 1. So that's project 1. You have project 2, project 3, project 4, and project 5. And that's essentially the same structure. Then you also have this lesson folder, which contains all the chapters. So those chapters will be accessible from the days. Every day you have a few chapters to read. But essentially, it's about the Motoko language and also the ICP ecosystem. So you also have a few external resources, but most of the information that you need are inside those chapters, and there are a lot of images and things that you need to check and read. Then you have the test folder, but you don't need to really care about that. And for the rest, you have the dfx.json, which contains all the projects already set up for you. So we have all the canisters that you will need to deploy at some point. And the rest is just configuration for Gitpod, Git, and the README and so on. Okay, so now we are going to see how we can deploy and submit our canisters on the Motoko Bootcamp dashboard. The first thing to understand is that there are 3 ways to deploy canisters. I won't go into details today and show you all the ways, but essentially you need to understand that you can deploy locally, on the playground, or on the internet computer. Locally would be you run a replica, so a copy of the internet computer by doing dfx start, and then you can deploy canisters there. It's very easy for testing and all sorts of purposes. The only problem is that it only exists on your machine, and so you cannot share that with the outside world. So that wouldn't be practical if we want to submit projects on the dashboard. The second way would be to use the playground. So the playground is actually part of the internet computer. It's a part of the mainnet, of the main network. It's just a specific place where you can deploy for free because you don't need to pay for it. But there are a few limitations. You cannot, for example, transfer cycles between canisters. And all canisters deployed on the playground are deleted after 20 minutes. So actually for the training, I strongly recommend, and that's what I'm going to do in the videos, that you deploy on the playground. 20 minutes is more than enough to submit your project on the dashboard, so you shouldn't have any issue with that. And the last way we could also use it and submit on the dashboard would be to deploy on the internet computer. You could totally do that. The only thing is that you would need to pay for it. Deploying a canister is around $1. You need to get cycles, and you can get cycles by burning ICPs. So you can do dfx deploy network IC, and you would deploy on the internet computer. You also need to make sure that you have identity with a cycle wallet that is set up. And I really advise you to not do that on the Gitpod environment, because if you lose your workspace, so if you close the workspace and delete it, you will never be able to access your identity again. So if you've paid for ICP, or if you're paid for cycles, then you will lose all your ICP, all your cycles, and also you will lose access to your canisters. So definitely for the whole training, the best way is to use the playground. To deploy on the playground, it's very easy. Basically, what you need to do is that whenever you want to deploy your project, you just need the name of the project. And so you can find that in dfx.json. The name is here, so project 1, project 2, project 3, and so on. And you go to main.mo and you just run this simple command dfx deploy --. So this is actually a flag. So you can say flag playground, and then the name of the project, so project 1. This will create an identity if it's the first time you're doing it. And then you will see this message, reserving canisters in playground. It will give you an ID, and then build your code and then deploy the canister. Okay, so my canister has been deployed. What is actually great about that is that you can totally copy this link and access it from anywhere. So even I would be able to access your canister, even if it's something that you've just deployed, I can access it. And so you can interact with it from the Candid UI. Essentially, once you have deployed your canister and you have completed the task, so right now, of course, nothing has been done, that wouldn't work, but let's assume that you've finished the project 1, then you get this ID, so the canister ID is here, and you have essentially 20 minutes to go on the Motoko Bootcamp dashboard, so motokobootcamp.com, then log in, then you log in with your identity, and you go to the submit section, which would be here. Then you go to the training and you select your project. So I have already completed this project, but you should see a space to input your canister ID. You paste your canister ID, then you click on submit, and then within 10 to 20 seconds, you will receive an answer. If your canister is correct, you can move to the next level. If your canister is incorrect, it will usually show you an error message and explain what is the problem and how you can fix it. So that's it for the training. Essentially, each day you need to focus on one project and complete one specific project. I will make a dedicated video for each project, and I will also make a correction for the project at some point. I strongly advise that you don't watch the correction, except if you are stuck, of course, after some point. But the goal with the training is not to challenge you. The goal with the training is that you challenge yourself. So you have to be smart enough and determined enough to not watch the correction and do the project yourself, because this is how you're going to learn the best. All right, good luck. I see you in the next video. All right, so if there is any question with the training, let me know. I know that sometimes it's possible to have issues with Gitpod. So actually just yesterday I had an issue opening Gitpod in Google Chrome. Where is it? It's here. This is not an issue coming from my side, but it's an issue coming from Gitpod itself. And I'm not sure exactly why. But if I found that if that happens, so essentially, let's see if the issue is still there. Yeah, I think it's still there. It's going to load forever. And at some point, just say like, I don't remember the exact message, but it's like unable to reach server or something like this. If that happens to you, I have solutions. First solution, you can go into incognito mode. So, this mode, and actually that will work. Maybe it's not the best, I know, because you have to log in with your GitHub, because, well, you're probably not log in with the incognito mode. And 1 second, so but once you do that in incognito mode, it should work. So as you can see, it's loading and I have all my files here. The second solution, yeah, this is the error message. An unexpected error occurred that requires a reload of the page. Failed to connect to the server. Time limit reached. So this is an issue that I've seen sometimes, and I'm not sure exactly why. I think it's Gitpod, but whatever. So incognito mode always work. You can also refresh and reload the cache. So you need to do a hard reload, not just clicking here, but actually delete the cache and do a hard reload. Sometimes there is some like wrong cache, and then it loads the wrong files. So I've seen that also fixing this issue. You can try with another browser. So I didn't have any issue with Firefox so far. So I'm probably going to change. I've recommended Chrome, but actually I think Firefox is better for Gitpod. But yeah, if you have like Brave, you can try Brave. You can try to use Firefox, Safari, Chrome. And that's about all you can try. I've really never seen a problem with the incognito mode. Like every time I do it, it works. So yeah, last resort is this mode. Okay, so that's about it. Stuck with Gitpod using Brave. Okay, so we have a question. Can we ask if we have a GitHub? Yeah, so this link that you just sent, this one, you shouldn't have access to that. I don't know where you got that link. Is it yeah, I don't know where you get that link. The DAO Adventure template open is not something we should work on for this week. It's something else, and it's a private repository at the moment. So the previous bootcamp, I've talked about it and I've shown it to some students. Maybe that's where you got the link, but you should not have this link anymore. And actually it's yeah, it shouldn't be in the resource. Like if it's something that is on the dashboard or you find somewhere in the document, please let me know. Documentation, please let me know, because this should not be like used. This is for after graduation, but right now we need to focus on the graduation. Seb, can you please rename the teams numbering from rank to team? Yes, so I'll do that. Actually, right now the ranks are very random because there is actually each team has the same score, so it's just like the first one is the number one. But as soon as you start to complete project, your team score will increase. Like every time you complete a project, your team score will increase, and so the rank should naturally adjust. Right now, no team is better than another. Okay, that's about it. So right now, what you should do is start your training. So if you haven't done the initiation, of course, do your initiation first. Then start your training. So start the project number 1, day number 1. We are going to do it together in any case. So let me show you the planning for the week. We have a few sessions. So the first session is like in 20 minutes. You will join this lecture. It's going to be an introduction to Motoko. So it's a 1-hour lecture. I will explain almost everything you need to know about Motoko to get started. Then we have the team building. So this is going to be on Discord. You will need to talk and join a call with your team. Then we have the level 1. So this is where we will build together. Then we have an introduction to DFX. DFX is the tool I've shown you to deploy canisters. I'll talk a bit more about it and how you can use it. And then we have a mentorship session at the end of the day. Mentorship sessions are sessions where you can join and ask me questions. So if you're stuck on a project, if you want to know more about, maybe you have a question about ICP that is not in the bootcamp, maybe even like other questions about how to find jobs and like the ecosystem and all sorts of questions, the mentorship session are here for that. And that's about it for today. If you miss some sessions, just if you are not here like in 20 minutes or if you are not here this afternoon, it's okay. You can come back at any point during the week. I'll be there and you can, resume your progression. So it's not a problem. I missed I joined 2 teams. Any solution to exit one? Yeah, so there is a little issue. You shouldn't be able to join 2 teams. I know why it's happening, so it'll be corrected like in the next 2 hours. I'll correct that. And everyone will only have 1 team. It will automatically remove you from 1 team. What are the steps for initiation? So initiation is just about deploying your first application. So you go here, you watch the video, you also open the repository, read the guide. Essentially everything that you need to know is explained here. Okay, so that was it. Good luck, everyone. Of course, I'm always here. If you have a question, I'm available the whole week and I'll be there during the session. So feel free to ask me any question if you're stuck. And yeah, good luck again. I see you in 20 minutes for the next session. The links for the future sessions are on the calendar. So it's here. So yeah, that's a good question, actually. I did not talk about that. On Discord, you have this useful link. So this is a Motoko Bootcamp Discord. You have this useful links section. And here you have the most important link, I would say, for this week. One of them is the calendar. So click here. And actually, you also have this one, like calendar. And then you have the whole calendar of the week. And each time you have a link to join the session. So you don't have access to the links of the future sessions because I add the links like usually 1 or 2 hours before we start the session. But for example, for the next session, you have the link here. So you just need to click. When it's time, you click here and you join. Where is the link for the Discord? So link to Discord is here. And well, I can send it in the chat. Everyone that is here should be on Discord because it's very important.
Welcome back to...
Sorry. I post updates about what we're doing. So yeah, make sure you are on Discord. And also you have your team on Discord. What happens if you could not complete the day 1? Well, for which reason couldn't you complete the day 1? You mean if you are late, like you haven't finished day 1 at the end of day 1, it's totally fine. You can The days are indicative of where you should be, but it's not like if you have not completed day one, you're removed from the bootcamp. It's not like this. I've seen some people taking their time, like taking 2 or 3 weeks to actually complete the week of the bootcamp. I would say it depends on how much time you can give to the bootcamp. Like if you have the full week, you have nothing to do, and you're just fully focused on that, you can really finish like the whole program in maybe 3 or 4 days, and you already have some experience. It can go really fast. If you are working a job on the side, and so everyone is in a different situation, so the days are only indicative of like where you should be in your progression, but don't take it too seriously. Like it's okay if tomorrow you are still on day one. Don't worry about that. Gitpod launched, working smoothly. Perfect. Good. Okay, I don't see any more question, so I'll finish this session. Okay, last one. How much experience should you have before you start the course? Well, if you already have some experience with a programming language, it's good and you will be very at ease, I believe. If you don't have any experience, you can also follow. Like you can do it. It's possible. It's just gonna be much harder, of course. But I've made this course as accessible as possible. The idea is that if Motoko is your first programming language, you are able to catch up with this program. So I don't think there is any experience required. Of course, you need to know, how to use a computer, how to use basic command in the terminal. You need to know what is a function, what is a variable, what is a programming language. I would say very, very basic computer science knowledge. But you don't need to be a developer with 10 years of experience, and it's very accessible. Yeah. I've never heard of GitHub. Can I continue? Yes, you can continue. I would still recommend to learn about it. Yeah, because it's like very, very important topic. And even like the repository, they are on GitHub. So you need to understand how GitHub works. And that's like very, very important. And you have very good resource on the internet for understanding what is GitHub. You don't need to, like for this week, you don't need to be like a GitHub expert, like knowing how to create repository, making commits, merging branches and everything. But you need to know what is GitHub, why do we use it, and how you can navigate it. Okay. Well, good luck to everyone. I see you in 15 minutes. And stay strong. Keep building.